Do not, I repeat, do not fall for Dee Dee's charms. Hi, I'm Bridgette and I'm back. Wow, Warner Brothers TV are all over me.
Still I rise.
I will not let them take us down. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the messy recap. Rory gears up for her first day back at Chilton, where a demonic Paris tries to ruin her time at the school newspaper. Paris makes her write a story of none other than jilted groom Max Medina, knowing full well that something has gone on between them. But never fear, because Rory comes out triumphant as per usual. Luke is preparing for the arrival of a special guest, and Lorelai is not being very helpful and gives him unsolicited advice. Jess finally arrives in Stars Hollow, and to say I'm currently underwhelmed is an understatement. He's super rude to Luke and Lorelai, tries to get Rory to escape out of her bedroom window after meeting her for 5 seconds, steals alcohol, steals Rory's books, allegedly steals money from Dosey's, and steals Babette's garden gnome. But all is right in the world when Luke pushes him into the lake. Best moment ever. Also, there's definitely some attraction between him and Rory, so watch this space, I guess. So it's Friday night dinner again, yay! And a very nervous member of staff greets Rory and Lorelai, and Lorelai begins to grill her, quelle surprise. This woman will not rest. One thing we know is Monday to Sunday, Lorelai is gonna Lorelai. Then when this poor woman tells her that her name is Liesl, Lorelai starts to take the piss out of her, and it's like, ma'am, you are called Lorelai. Lorelai, Liesl, not so different. Both sound like names out of a fairy tale. So Richard and Emily Gilmore are having an argument because Emily wants Richard to attend some sort of gala or charity thing that she usually goes to, and Richard's not having any of it, citing he has better things to do. Emily then goes and gets a dictaphone to try and record the argument that she's having with Richard to probably use as evidence in the future. And I hate to say it, that has been me. On occasion, I have had arguments with men and recorded them on my phone just in case I need to present them in a court of law.
Sorry to this man.
That sounded more dramatic than it needed to be. Don't come for me unless I send for you.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
So the girls are at the diner and Lorelai's reading over Rory's latest essay, and of course it's incredible, blah, blah, blah. But Rory then says something that makes me realise maybe she is smarter than I thought.
This is not how you raise a child. You don't send them out there with a false sense of pride, because out there in the real world, no one will coddle you.
Now I know that's right. So Luke takes the girls' order because unsurprisingly Jess is not helping out at the diner like he's supposed to be doing. Jess does eventually show up for work in a Metallica t-shirt with a kind of like skull on it, and Luke makes him go back upstairs to change. And I've got to be so for real, I don't really see what's wrong with his attire. It's not like they're working in corporate America, they're working in a diner. But because Jess got on my last nerve in the last episode and I like Luke, I don't care.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
So meanwhile, back at Emily's house, she's entertaining her posho friends, think like Clutching Pearls, and they are entertaining themselves over the fact that Emily cannot seem to keep hold of hired help. Eek. It's a bit dark. I do, however, appreciate this woman's top. They start talking about how dull the last ball that they went to was, which Emily obviously appreciates because she desperately wanted to go to it. So they give her all the posh goss, like who's banging who's divorcing who, and Emily is beside herself. She can't cope with this amount of gossip. Honestly, relatable. My friend's coming around later today and I cannot wait for the gossip fest that we are going to have. So due to Richard's shit he's got to do, Emily's having to miss out on all these social engagements.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
I mean, she could go on her own, no? Then Rory shows up and we know that Emily will not miss a chance to show Rory off to all her friends. They start fawning over her, as does everybody we've come to know in Stars Hollow and beyond. One woman is sizing Rory up like she is prey. It's so fucking weird. So the Daughters of America are having a debutante ball.
Huh? What? Oh. Okay.
And they suggest, why doesn't Emily present Rory? Now, I get that this is a tradition, but it is bizarre. It's like they're presenting a prized cow to the world. And for what? So they start talking about how Rory will be the prettiest girl at the ball and how unattractive all the other girls are. These are teenage girls, by the way. And Emily's face after hearing it. Okay, kind of love Lorelai's Aaliyah looking outfit. It's slightly out of character, but I'm here for it. So Rory gets back to the house and lets Lorelai know she's coming out. So Lorelai is horrified at the thought of Rory doing the thing that back in the day Lorelai absolutely did not want to do, and she tries to get Rory out of it. But Rory insists that she wants to do it. She says that it's something that's important to her grandma and therefore she's going to make it a priority for her. She wants to make her grandma happy, which is nice. Then Lorelai says,
"No, it's like animals being up for bid at the county fair, except sheep don't wear hoop skirts."
and yet again, Lorelai and I share the same opinion. So I'm just going to run a bath and get into it with an electric toaster. Just kidding. She can hold decent opinions at times. So reluctantly, Lorelai agrees to help Rory and they start planning.
Guess who's back again.
Lorelai realizes that a dad is supposed to present their daughter at this ceremony and therefore she has to contact Dee Dee. For those who are not new to this and therefore true to this, I affectionately call Rory's dad Dee Dee, which is an acronym for deadbeat dad because he doesn't deserve the extra syllable.
Loser!
So Lorelai calls him up and apparently he's living in Boston now, but literally who cares? He's never been a decent dad. It doesn't really matter what state he's living in. So Lorelai lets Dee Dee know the phone works both ways and Dee Dee makes an excuse like, yeah, but you were getting married and then not getting married. What the hell has that got to do with the daughter that you don't see? Anyway, Lorelai explains to Dee Dee that Rory is coming out and his presence would be appreciated. The way Lorelai has to ask him infuriates me. She's all softly with him, like he's an infant child. And it's like, it is the least you could do. Show up to an event for your daughter when you've pretty much not been in her life for the past 16 years. He does agree to it after a long speech from Lorelai, and he does not deserve a single ounce of praise for doing the bare minimum.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Bare minimum, my guy. Rory is so excited that Dee Dee's coming, and honestly, I actually can't bear it. Her little angelic face lighting up at the thought of her dad actually showing up for her is too much.
Guess who's back again.
Lane, yay! And Dean. So Lorelai is on the phone to Emily, finalising the things that Rory needs for the ball, and Dean is back to being Dean. They're watching some show, and Dean couldn't be more disinterested or moody if he tried. Rory's trying to get Dean to watch the show because he's going to be her date for the ball, and she wants to show him that men can look cool in tails and tuxes. But we all know how Dean feels about doing anything that Rory wants him to do.
Boring!
In order to get him to come to the ball, she has agreed to watch something called Battle Box for an entire month. And again, what is it with these men? Like, not the Gilmore Girls having to coerce their men into doing things for them. God forbid your partner or your ex-partner or the father of your child wants you to do something and has to beg it. What a shame. So Dee Dee arrives to the Gilmore Girl house in a car, which is an upgrade from his stupid motorcycle. He also brings Rory the dictionary that his card got declined for several episodes back.
Shame. Shame.
He claims it's a new edition dictionary, but Prater, why does it look so beaten up? It's given secondhand. It's given vintage.
The lies! There you go, this bitch. I'm telling you.
Not Lorelai being like, that was really great of you. The epitome of bare minimum. He also has a job. Wow, he's in his 30s and he's getting his first proper job and we're supposed to be impressed. I'm absolutely not impressed. He invites Lorelai to get into his car as though they're like 17-year-olds and he's just passed his driving test. So Lorelai and Emily come back from shopping for the ball for Rory and it's actually kind of cute. Love Emily's shirt. And Richard Gilmore comes down in casual clothes and I actually love this for him. There still seems to be some tension between Emily and Richard and he is not entertaining her at all. Emily just tries to remind him about the fact that he needs to pick up his tuxedo from the dry cleaners and he gives her attitude. Please do not tell me their marriage is crumbling.
No.
So Lorelai questions Emily about the tension between them and Emily is immediately defensive about it. Now, I hate Lorelai's top with a fervent passion, but I do love that she's showing concern for her parents.
Guess who's back again.
Miss Inappropriate Patty. Dean and Rory are trying to practice their ballroom dance moves with Miss Patty. Obviously, she's a dance teacher.
So you say.
To be fair, Miss Patty can clearly dance and she gives them one of those spotting exercises where you spin round and you're supposed to focus on one point. Could never do that in dance class when I was younger. Dean is still moaning and bemoaning the fact that he has to go to this ball with Rory when Lorelai and Dee Dee turn up with coffees for everyone. Dee Dee grabs Lorelai to demonstrate some dance moves and I almost threw up for real. I know we're supposed to think that this scene is sweet, but I do not. Dee Dee can't even dance. I mean, he can't even parent, so why am I surprised? He is a useless individual. Also, is this not planting false hope in Rory's head? Like watching her parents dance together as if they're going to get back together. They're not getting back together, are they? The Lord works fast, but Lorelai Gilmore works faster, if that is the case. And not Dee Dee flirting with Miss Patty. Also, not Lorelai's skirt matching the full decor of the entire town. So Lorelai and Dee Dee start talking about his first ever job. But like most men, he cannot actually describe what it is he actually does. Just a whole word salad. Then he tells Lorelai that he has realised he just does not like being in his parents' shadow and admires the fact that Lorelai managed to escape from her parents and admits that he was always a little jealous of Lorelai for doing that. PSA for women in heterosexual relationships with men. When a man admits he is jealous of you, run, and do not look back. This explains his behaviour. Imagine being jealous of the mother of your child. And then Lorelai's like,
We did good.
No, you did good. Dee Dee did nothing.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Feet. I cannot with the no warnings about the fact that there's going to be feet on my screen. So they're at the Gilmore girl house getting ready for the ball and Lorelai's being annoying, but what's new there? And Dee Dee is helping Dean with his bow tie. And again, why is Dean so tall?
Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know.
Anyway, he leaves and Rory waddles off to bed. Sometimes Rory walks like a 3-year-old and sometimes she walks like a 92-year-old. Anyway, I guess she's practicing walking in her heels. So Lorelai confides in Dee Dee that Emily and Richard have been fighting and Dee Dee is not remotely helpful, but what's new there? Hey, at least he's staying on the sofa tonight. Small miracles. Thank you, Jesus, won't he do it? It's the day of the ball and Lorelai looks stunning, I cannot lie. Those frosted lips really had the early 2000s in a chokehold for real. So some rude woman comes to take their names and then escorts Rory to a dressing room where all the debutantes are getting ready for the ball. They're all dressed in what appear to be wedding dresses and it's confusing. But then I remember I grew up Catholic and for my Holy Communion, I was dressed up like a child bride. Rory sits down next to a girl called Libby who has maybe had a nose job for the occasion. Hard to tell. Anyway, Libby is taking it very, very seriously. Emily Gilmore looks super cute, but Richard has not arrived and I hate it here. They cannot get a divorce. I simply won't stand for it.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Emily is not feeling the decor of the place, and though I know nothing about a debutante ball, I have to be honest. The decor does look kind of cheap. The wreaths on the staircase look like Christmas decorations from the Poundland shop.
The ghetto! The ghetto!
Okay, not Libby being an alcoholic. Libby offers Rory a drink from her hip flask, which is a choice. And Rory is dressed like somebody from Black Swan and she's reading a book. I love reading. However, not everyday book. You're telling me Rory cannot put her book down for 1 hour to just do her coming out?
Girl.
Be so for real. Anyway, Libby is a hoot. It's her 5th coming out ball this week. Libby's just looking to settle down at 16 and become an alcoholic housewife. And do you know what? I love that for her. She asked Rory if she knows if her escort is the one. And Rory knows good and damn well that Dean is not the one for her. I just wish she would let Dean know that.
Let the mouse go. Is there anything
You
I
had
said
your
that
fun.
So Lorelai is standing around with a load of women gossiping and Dee Dee comes to rescue her. Honestly, the way Lorelai gushes over Dee Dee, you wouldn't even think that he'd left her high and dry to be a single parent. Richard still hasn't turned up and Emily is freaking out, but then he does show up and they get into another bickering match. Oh. So Lorelai decides to get behind the bar and make herself her own drinks. Okay. And her and Dee Dee start reminiscing and do not, I repeat, do not fall for Dee Dee's charms. I'm going to need you, Lorelai, to have good sense for once in your life. So Dean goes backstage to tease Rory about her outfit, which is apparently cute. Okay. Lorelai goes off to find Emily and Richard because they're not seated yet, and she finds them arguing again just before the performance is about to begin. Richard is being pompous AF and he's refusing to sit down, and I do not know wagwan with him, but he appears to have lost his motherfucking mind.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
He is just over society life. He thinks he's being phased out of the company. And Emily's like, oh well. Drunken Libby walks out and she is drunk because she slips as she's coming down those stairs. And then it's time for Rory. I'm sorry, but this is so fucking weird. From her deadbeat dad escorting her to the bottom of the stairs where Dean is waiting to escort her with a maniacal grin. What exactly is the point of this? And then her and the other girls do some sort of like ritualistic dance from Midsummer. So the Gilmore girls, Dee Dee and Dean, head back to Stars Hollow where they slut shame Libby and go to terrorize Luke at his place of work. Lorelai thanks and praises Dee Dee again for doing the bare minimum, and again I am confusion. She has to beg this man to make an effort with his own child. And then the two of them kind of kiss, and honestly, I can't keep up. And then after they kiss, Dee Dee turns around to her and lets Lorelai know that he has a girlfriend, a whole girlfriend. This man is truly a waste of time, space, words, life force, everything. His girlfriend's name's Sherry, and he is living with her.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
So Lorelai heads to meet Rory at the diner, and turns out Rory already knew about Sherry. Then Luke comes over with the food, and I swear the way Lorelai looks at him, it's like she's already sizing up her next victim. Leave that man alone. So Jess is now dressed as Luke, and I can't lie, it's kind of funny. The look kind of suits him. I don't hate it. Luke is, however, not amused and sends him right back upstairs to change. So Lorelai then has a light bulb moment and is like, oh, I'm so lucky to have you, Rory, because you're someone that I can vent to, although she's your teenage daughter, so I'm not sure you should be venting to her, but okay, fine, fair enough, whatever. Then she imagines that Emily doesn't actually have anybody to speak to. This prompts her to go round and visit her, which I approve of. 10 points for you, Lorelai. She also mentions this bloody business class that we never actually see Lorelai doing. I mean, where does she find the time to go on a course? Emily's doing a spot of gardening and Lorelai just hangs out with her, and honestly, it's a beautiful scene. Not only does Emily look incredible in a pair of chinos, but it's also a really tender moment between them.
I love it. I love it.
But I am hoping this doesn't signal the end of Richard and Emily. So, Rory, stay where you are. You did a nice thing for your grandma by agreeing to come out. Lorelai, in two minds. You annoyed me by even vying for Dee Dee's attention, but you obviously can't help yourself. And you were super sweet to Emily. Emily, girl, come on up. I'm worried about you and Richard. Richard, down you come. I can't have you taking out your work problems on your wife. Dee Dee, disingenuous, bare minimum, bottom of the barrel stuff as per usual. And that's it. Another one in the bag. I really can't cope with the idea of Emily and Richard breaking up, so I'm really hoping that that's not what's in store for us. Hopefully, if things work out, it will be on the live stream. If not, well, better luck next time to me, I guess. Anyway, join me next time for some more shenanigans. Okay, bye.